welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, Vanarama National League, Vanarama National League North and South, maybe from next season, if Lecce get relegated, the Italian leagues, if anybody was watching on Monday. And of course, this week, it is the FA Cup as well. But I couldn't do it alone. And obviously, we've not got Anne to cover the championship. So I'd say the next best thing, but I think we joined the best, to be fair. Sam, the EFL man, how are you?
Hello. I know you've left the door open and I've just wandered in tonight to come and join you. I know I haven't got the same northern tones as our lovely Ant, but so I'm representing the south today, trying to even things up today. But it's lovely to have on. Thank you for inviting me on and allowed to come on our lovely lower league show and chill out with some friends on a Thursday evening. How wonderful.
You're always welcome on, Sam, always.
Thank you.
Always. Ben, how are you? How's your week been?
It's been all right. A bit indifferent. Obviously, I had my nan's funeral yesterday, which, was not ideal, but it has to be done, doesn't it? Apart from that, very, very nice week. Plenty of football, to be honest. Just getting ready for a lot of travelling to come up now. Got a nice little trip to Torquay next Tuesday to look forward to. So, whole day off work for that. So, please shoot me in the head if I haven't done by the end of the night.
Did you meet Mark White?
I didn't meet him personally, no. Unfortunately, I think he was in his own element, to be fair. Although when I was taking a quick photo for our group chat now with him and James, they both looked at my direction. They're probably thinking, who's that weirdo taking the photo? Pull me out on it, so I was happy about that. But yeah, no,
you should have just said it's for Charlotte.
I should have done, to be fair. But then again, they've done my place, haven't they? So yeah, no, we'll try that the next time it comes over to us.
And Jen, how are you and how's your week been?
Yeah, not bad. My week's been all right. We won our FA Cup game, so we're into the second round and we're at home, which is very helpful considering we've not had a home game for God knows how long. So fingers crossed we can get through to the third round and get a big team, because that's the main goal for everyone in the lower leagues, isn't it?
Love that. Yeah, me and Ben are out of it. And we could have got each other.
I know. You couldn't have written it, could you? Honestly.
No.
And they put that game for TV as well somehow. Still don't know how they picked that one. It's such a dead tie.
Not good. Fuming. But it's all right. And of course, it's not just us. We have some lovely people in the chat. We've got Spenny fan Chris. He's put good evening all. Sean has put, let's skip the FA Cup, shall we? Yeah, I'm happy. We'll just let Jen speak about FA Cup and then move on. He's put as well. Also, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I love the interaction between the chat. Love that. Oh, we've got Luke. I'll read everyone. Feels weird that I'm not going to be talking about Gateshead on this show. Heading to Fylde on Saturday. Oh, poor you, Luke. I'm only joking. On Saturday and 19 on Sunday. Get me to the weekend, please. Oh, happy birthday for Sunday. Oh, shall I sing happy birthday?
Yeah.
It's only right, isn't it?
Yes, tradition.
Yeah. Someone count me in. Go on, Sam. Count me in.
Come on then. 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday for Sunday Luke. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Yay! Sorry to anybody who has AirPods in, and if I broke them, so sorry. Evening Charlotte, love the lipstick. Oh, thank you so much. Matches my nails, you see. I thought I'd colour coordinate. And he's also said hi to Sam, Ben, and Jen. He's not loving your two lipstick though, Ben and Sam. You went for the natural, didn't you?
Did nude, Ben.
I feel so exposed.
Oh, natural. Simon said, evening, everyone. Oh, we're not got a happy Simon, I don't think. Chris has put as well, was thinking about what you would be thinking about Mark Robbins being sacked. I'm sure we will get onto that later. And we've got Dietrich as well. Good evening, all. Hope everyone is well today. Lovely to see Sam here on the pod tonight.
Oh, so lovely. We love Dietrich. She's very lovely. Thank you very much.
We've got Kyle as well. Sean, bless him. For you, Ben. A little message. I won't read out the language, but I don't think he's very happy, Simon. His comment fitted him really well. We've got Glenn, evening all. He's happy with our singing. Luke. Glenn has said, today has been an awful day. I feel like I've lost a family member after Robin's sacking. And everybody is saying happy birthday to Luke. But I guess we've got to speak some football, haven't we? And let's start with the FA Cup. So, do you know what, Sam? I'm going to come to you first. Is there any standouts on the FA Cup slide that you'd like to give a mention to, or just any stories like last week?
So many. I don't think anyone has had any incident with their chips this weekend. I think none that were reported anyway. I won't pick. I say Brackley nil, Braintree nil. I'm sure was an absolute belter. But congratulations to Brackley for making the second round. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, yeah, you're looking at the upset. I'm always looking at the upsets, as most people kind of are in the FA Cup first round. So I suppose Tamworth getting through is a good one over Huddersfield. That's a really good victory. I don't know who they've got in the second round. Maybe one of you guys.
Sam, did you see as well the Tamworth game, or anyone else? Did you see the guy who took the really good throw-ins?
Yeah, I love his throw-ins. He literally went in crazy.
You've got to love a long throw-in.
I don't think I've ever seen it hit a goalkeeper like that, to be honest. I mean, we've had a couple of long throws in the past, but never to that extent, to right on the goalkeeper. Honestly, I wouldn't have wanted to be in his situation, trust me, because as a goalkeeper, the one thing I hated was long throws, and so I can sympathise with him on that one. But it was a clean goal, so you can't complain about it.
It's epic. You can't beat a good throw. We used to have a guy who used to play for our youth team, and he literally could bend his back. It was like a slingshot, so you used to bend it, but you used to come forward with such pace. Literally, he was like 10 years old and could throw it into the penalty box, like the 6-yard box. We just needed a Peter Crouch and we'd have been undefeated, because that combination couldn't deal with it at under 11s. Couldn't deal with it.
Can I just quickly shout out this? Obviously, they're playing Burton Albion in the second round. Jim McNulty is favourite for that job.
Oh.
I don't think he's going to go, though. It wouldn't do that. It wouldn't do that to us, Big Jim.
Don't do it,
wouldn't
Jim.
do it. And if you're watching, Jim, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because we know sometimes he does watch his podcast, to be fair to our Big Jim. That is a fact as well. He told me himself.
That's it. Don't go. Shall we sing to you?
I'll sing happy birthday to you, Jim. That's probably why he's going.
You need to sing, was it Blackstreet or something, that Don't Leave Me song or whatever?
Yeah. Jen, is there any standouts on here for you?
I would probably say Carlisle and Wigan, because obviously it went to extra time and we constantly talk about these replays being taken away. As a bottom of the League Two, same as us, if they got a replay, it could have been massive for Carlisle at home if they got that. So I think it's hard to take, obviously, because they are in a bad situation at the minute. But on the plus side, it's probably better to go into added extra time and do it that way than having to add another game to the schedule. But then it's the money side of it. Like, there's so many teams in the FA Cup that could have got an extra game. And it's honestly shocking that they've took the replays away, because it's massive for some teams. And I haven't seen the second round TV slots yet or anything, but I know there's some good non-league sides in there that if they got a TV, that's massive for their club. So I think taking the replays away is just ridiculous, and I think it's the worst decision they ever made.
I completely agree. Ben, any standouts or any you just want to talk about, or any stories like Sam's from last week?
no one
on,
ever
give me
a story. Sam's like the man for the stories now. Mine's just like absolutely nothing compared to him. I mean, in terms of this slide itself, there's not too many, I guess, really. But I mean, I think I've got to give a bit of credit to Aldershot and Weston-super-Mare, to be fair. Well, even Alfreton as well. I know Alfreton, obviously the scoreline doesn't read well for them. They did take the lead there in Notts County. Same with Aldershot taking the lead at Bradford. And Weston, again, like Jen was just saying, any other year, that's a replay for them, and probably a TV game, and a good amount of money for that, more than the 15 grand probably they would have been given from just reaching the first round. So for Weston to take Bristol Rovers all the way to extra time, and for good periods in that, probably maybe deserve to maybe win the game possibly. Fortunately, it wasn't to be. They scored a cracking third goal, to be fair, Bristol Rovers, which sort of sealed the tie. But yeah, I think Weston could be really proud of that, because they've been to the first round a couple of times, but they could hold their heads up high, because Bristol Rovers, it's hard, I think, 3 divisions above them. That was always going to be a tough ask for them. So massive credit to them for getting to the first round again.
Definitely. Just going on that as well, Simon has mentioned Weston-super-Mare could have taken Bristol Rovers to a replay if they hadn't have scrapped them. Lucas put shocking TV picks for the FA Cup second round. God knows why they didn't choose Reading versus... I feel like you set me up for pronouncing this. Arbra.
Arbra.
He does it to me every time, Luke. I'm sure you do it on purpose. And I've just sang happy birthday to you. Bless him. I love Luke. He's also said Crewe versus Dagenham and Redbridge was his standout fixture. Yeah. Completely agree. Sorry, I've got a tickly cough. It does, like I said, it does me dirty every time I podcast. I've been absolutely fine all day. I think it's a singing. And obviously, Dietrich is our Bradford fan. So Bradford City 3, Aldershot Town 1. And she put, I'm buzzing. We switched up some of the team and goals from Callum Kavanagh and I can't even, is it
Verdane Oliver.
Verdane Oliver, yeah. And an own goal sealed the win. Was worried Aldershot would do a Tamworth, but into the second round. Love that. Oh, we've got our very own Paul as well. Bless him. He's put, trying not to let the Fury, as a Sky Blues fan, overtake listening to the rowdy rabble. We will get onto that later, and you are more than welcome to have you say, because I think we've got a couple of angry Coventry fans, so you won't be the only one, Paul, so do not worry.
There's the Fury. You can feel the Fury tonight,
I
can't you?
know. That's what it was. I know. Yeah, look. Set me up. Johnny's come on as well, bless him. He's actually said that he is in work tonight. I thought I'd just come on. I thought I would wish you all well tonight. I know you are doing the championship. I just want to say I'm so happy with the 2 wins. Greatest podcast ever. Thank you. Love that. Before we move slides, is there any other standouts for anybody on here?
Don't think so.
No. Don't think so.
I mean, Brackley won on pens, didn't they? Notts County, I know it's Alfreton, but obviously there is a lot of upsets, but they did manage to comfortably win 5-1. But yeah, I agree. Not many. So, any standouts on this slide? Sam, I will come to you first.
Anybody knows me from my previous Football Manager days or general knows I love a double Desmond. I love a double Desmond. There is no better score in football when you're neutral than the double Desi, of course, the 4-4. And when it involves 2 non-league clubs in the first round of the FA Cup, it's particularly special. Hednesford versus Gainsborough, 4-4 ending in a penalty shootout. And so I'm with you guys. The replays are ridiculous. And I support a top-level club, and they're a joke that they've been taken away, and they shouldn't be taken away. But they have produced some exciting games this weekend. The extra time penalty ones have been crazy. I think, wasn't that one delayed for a bit because everyone was on the pitch? I mean, yeah. I'm sure it wasn't Claire's fault, but maybe she was at Hednesford.
She was there. She was definitely there.
It's always a possibility. And yeah, a brilliant result in the end, 4-4. So yeah, that for me can't beat a double Desi. I'm always a fan of a double Desi.
Jen, any standouts for you? And by the way, everyone, if any of you do want to mention our score, I will not be petty about it
right now.
Do not worry.
We're not in like the bottom bit. Like it's not there. Like, it's not. But I would probably say Port Vale versus Barnsley. I expected Port Vale to go in and absolutely smash them. And it's very, very weird for the top of a League 2 side to be out of the FA Cup in the first round. I looked at it and I was just like, that's crazy. That's got to be one of the biggest shocks because it's just wild that Port Vale are out of the FA Cup already. And I know some of the fans saying, "Oh, we can just focus on the league," but it's like, yeah, but everyone wants a good FA Cup run, like. So I think Port
Not
Vale.
everyone, Jen. Gosh.
It's all right. When we get beat by Bradford in 2 weeks, fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Fine. I'll be joining you guys. But yeah, I think Port Vale was a massive, massive shock because they're such a good side at the minute. I mean, we play them next weekend at home, and I'm expecting to get battered, to be honest. But I just think they're such a good side for League Two that they should be beating a team like Barnsley. Like, they're up there, they should be doing it. So I generally don't know what went wrong on the day for them. But it just goes to show that the FA Cup, anything can happen.
Definitely. I'm scared to ask you, Ben, because I don't want you to say Bristol. I think you will say, but go on.
Well, it would have been, it is secondary on this slide in particular. I mean, I would agree with Sam, like the Hensford game, honestly. I watched the goals from that one, and there were some right cracking goals in that. I mean, particularly Gainsborough's equaliser just before they took it to extra time. I mean, the fact as well, like they came back from 3-0 down as well. I mean, albeit, yeah, Gainsborough a level higher, but it was a full crowd in. That would have been so intimidating for their players. But what an advert for the FA Cup, like, even for the two non-league sides. I mean, okay, it's easy to say now that, yeah, it probably should have been put on TV, but let's be honest, it wouldn't have been because it's two sides at a lower level and everything like that. I think, they'll probably get why they won't get the viewing figures. But if they knew what was going to happen on that day, they would have put it right to the top because it was the standout game, really, of the weekend in terms of, goals and drama and everything like that. Someone had to lose it. I think there was like 3 missed penalties, 3 or 4 missed penalties in the sudden death, between Hensford and Gainsborough. So, like, just thought it was never going to end, and it was like such a long night for those players. Honestly, if I was doing the media, I think I would have had a heart attack over it just constantly. I think I would have needed about 5 weeks rest over it. It was honestly but massive, credit to Gainsborough as well, for getting through because it's it's a great achievement for their football club, Step 7, and they've got. I think they've got Football League opposition, haven't they, in the next round? So, I think they'll be pretty pleased with that. But, yeah, I would have said as well, because, like I say, it was a cracking game, to be fair, the Rochdale-Bromley one. I think I watched the goals from him. You gave him a 2-0 head start, let's be honest here. But
what were we doing?
But I will say, I mean, to be fair, cracking, character from Rochdale to come back to 3-2. And then, yeah, I think you said, Charlotte, they sort of sat back a little bit more, and you can't do that against Football League opposition like that, the way that Bromley play. But I will say that, I'm really pleased for my man Levi Manchi. He got the equaliser just before they got their winner. Like, he's getting more game time this year, Bromley. We didn't think he'd probably get more game time. He was our star man last year, 20 goals by November. And, for him he scored in every competition now, bar League 2. So we're hoping that's going to be his next target now. But yeah, that'll be a big pick me up for him. And absolute scenes, obviously, when Bromley nick the win. It doesn't, for the fact, even if they are a league above than that, it's still an outstanding result for Bromley. But yeah, absolute heartbreak for sure. I feel your pain, trust me. So yeah, I'm sure you'll have the better experience of telling me about it than any of us here.
Do you know what? I might just get it over and done with now because it was the most frustrating. Honestly, like, you seen the goals, Ben. We gifted them 2 goals, and how many times have I come on here and said they're passing out from the back? Like, yeah. Really? And it happened with both goals. Don't get me wrong. I think the second one was quite a good finish, to be fair. But it was just 2 errors from us. And then, honestly, apart from the first 5 minutes and the last, 5 or 6 minutes, we absolutely controlled the game. And obviously, we went 2-0 down really early. And then Sam Beckwith, bless him, got his first goal for us. It was a very good finish for a defender as well. Absolutely smashed it. Very good finish. Kyron Gordon, another defender. I feel like our defence thought we need to put this right now. So he obviously got the second. And then obviously, Hendo comes on and gets obviously the winner at the time, what we all thought was the winner. And I love Jim McNulty. I absolutely love him to bits, but I think his management was quite poor in this. We were absolutely controlling the game, and to be fair, when we went 3-2 up, we probably could have got another. We played really well. Conor McBride was doing well. Obviously, Tyrone Mitchell's on. All these attacking players were on, and we absolutely controlled it. But then he decided to go all defensive and brought Kyle Ferguson on, and I can't remember what other defender he brought on. He brought a couple of defenders on anyway, and we went all defensive, and that's when we absolutely crumble, because we just sit back then, and we really do struggle to defend. And yeah, it just went to absolute pot, but it's what it is. It was a very frustrating one, but I don't want to say that at least we can concentrate on the league, because like Jen said, a cup run could have been massive for us as well. Like, we might not have had to sell a player in January. I know we've got new owners, but they've come out and said they're not going to be splashing the cash and being stupid. So it's annoying, to be fair, but at the same time, you just got to get on with it. It's football. If I was in Bromley's position, I would have been more than happy. It would have been absolute scenes. It is the magic of the FA Cup. But yeah, it's what it is.
I was actually very impressed with you, Shah, because I say on my app that I have the football, I have all your teams on my notifications so I can see what's going on. I like to keep tabs on your teams. And it came up twice for Rochdale, and they both said the first minute when it first came through. And I was like, oh, Shah's going to be fuming. And then I sort of thought about it and thought, that's actually really impressive if it was. And then it came through in like the third minute, wasn't it? And I thought, if they've conceded twice in a minute, then that's pretty impressive to even do that. So credit for that.
Honestly, though, I just think, and when I've come on here, like the last couple of weeks, and I've been like, we need a plan B. Just get it to Mitchell as a target man. Stop doing the passing out for the back. Yeah, it's good. But these players, when they're on the press, our defence is so vulnerable. And the way they did it again. And honestly, all our fans, then after the second goal went in, a lot of our fans turned, and there was a few who were like, McNulty, come on, what are we doing? And then, to be fair to him, got back in it. And then, as much as I said, I love Jim, but it was just, it wasn't my friend that day. But we move on, and hopefully he won't leave. I love you, Jim, if you're watching.
But kick it long once in a while, please, for God's sake.
Please. Some good news, though, as well. I'm hoping it is right, but apparently Adebayo Rolling's back at the weekend or next game after that. So hopefully that'll really help us, because I feel like we've really missed him at the back. Biabu, who we have on loan from Sheffield United, has extended his deal now till January, which is very good. And I cannot pronounce his name properly because people say it all different ways. But the National League Cup the other night, Jid Okeke, I think he's called, who we've got on loan from Stockport, scored his first goal, and he looks really, really promising as well. So I feel like now we're getting players back and stuff, we'll really be able to kind of kick on, because I think that's been our main struggle, especially with Toby Adebayo rolling. But yeah, that's it. That's my Dale thing. I'm glad I've got it out of the way. If it would have been Monday, I probably wouldn't have been as nice because I was still fuming. So I'm glad I've had a couple more days to get it over with. Just going back to the chat as well. Lucas put Exeter City versus Barnet and Rochdale versus Bromley is a shout just due to the fact it sounded like a good game, not because Rochdale lost. I'll let you off, Luke. But to be fair, for a neutral, it was a very good game. And I saw on social media, there was a couple of people who obviously don't support teams who actually went to random games, who didn't support teams or who was out of the FA Cup, went to a random game, and they actually picked Rochdale Bromley, so we definitely got the money's worth anyway. Definitely. Stevie has put, did anybody see that goal for Peterborough that was awarded as a corner instead?
That was got Newport, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was it. Yeah, I saw that. That was absolutely outrageous. Bring VAR right down lower legs.
Yeah, needed.
Don't mention VAR.
No VAR.
Don't mention VAR. We're not talking about VAR. Then Stevie's put as well, I think Newport scored an own goal, then the ref awarded a corner. Ref apparently asked the Newport captain if it was a goal. Mental.
Okay, then.
That's crazy.
No. Clara said that it will smash it for us. But yeah, let's go back to the slides. Any other interesting ones on this one?
Oh, shout out for Wealdstone, actually. Their win at Grimsby Town. Last minute goal from Alex Reed, I think it was. Yeah, there was scenes for them there. I mean, they don't get to the second round too often as well for a club, even play the National League level. So, no, well done to them. Like I say, not last minute goal, long trip away from home for those Wealdstone fans. So, they would have been loving life on that train back away from the mighty Grimsby.
Love that. Sam, any standouts?
What have we got here? Let's have a little gander. Any sound? I watched the Olympics losing to Acton. I'm happy for Rebecca, but we love a bit of Rachel. They've not kind of done it. I suppose. I won't talk about number 3. I'll leave that one alone. I'm not coming on. I'm not coming on. I'm firing shots. Not firing shots. Not when my team's 0-0 to PAOK of Greece currently at half-time in the Europa League. We won't be doing we won't be doing any of that. Of course, I think we mentioned them slightly earlier. Harbour. It sounds like it could be a film. Harbour Lights. The Harbour Lights of the Angels. With a 4-1 win. That's a really good victory. Gets them through it. And of course, I see there on the left-hand side, we'll give a shout-out to Claire winning, of course. And Uncle Nick in extra time as well. Yes. Pulling it over Colchester. We've got to give that some respect.
Do you know what as well? I'm actually going to put it out there. A very good win for Oldham.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good win for Oldham. You can't even say otherwise. And you know what, Chegbolam, who used to play for us last season, he only went and scored a worldie.
Oh, he went to the rivals. Oh, outrageous.
Yeah. It often happens. I think it's us dragging them down, to be fair, because they often thrive when they leave us.
Jesus, the Carlos Tevez of the National
League. I know. Claire, yeah. It's not Oldham, but I can't, to be fair. I've got to give them credit where it's due. And Tranmere are a league above. And obviously, we do have Mickey Mellon, don't they, Oldham? Tranmere's ex-manager, so you have got to give them credit. Everyone's laughing at me. Come on. Don't do it. Jen, any standouts for you on here?
I'd probably say the Walsall and Bolton one, because Walsall are obviously a very, very good side and they are incredible to watch. Like, they're such a good team. Like, it's unreal to watch. And I think Bolton as well, like we've said before, they seem to be kind of struggling this season and then they kind of brought it back and then they're kind of slipping off again. So it feels like a great win for Walsall. I think they deserve it. They're a great team. They're great people there. So I think they deserve the win. Again, Oldham obviously had a great game. You can't deny that. And obviously Stockport winning it in the extra time also helped. But then again, Stockport and Swindon could have had replays. So it's one of them, isn't it?
Definitely. Just on Stockport as well. Claire has put, Saturday was terrible for us. Boring as hell, unlucky to scrape through. Forgot how physical non-league is compared to EFL. She's got a little rant and match report for after as well in the league. Dietrich has put as well, gutted for Gattersley. Loved Mark Bower and wanted them to progress. I love Dietrich. She's always so positive, isn't she? And Simon's put, you mean Bolton, Jen?
I'm not as northern as Shah, all right? I know. I'm not there. I look like the seaside.
I feel like Ben and I should have to try and pronounce it in the Queen's English to sort of to mirror it out from the.
I don't do posh language, mate.
Go on, Sam. Do posh. Pronounce it.
Bolton Wanderers. Bolton
Wanderers.
There we go. Bolton. Oh, it doesn't sound right coming from me, but look at me. Bolton. Imagine if I spoke like this on the pod. Everyone would be like, what?
You should just do it and just see if anyone calls you out and just keep going with it.
Bolton. We've got James as well.
Oh, Jamie Jealous. I love Jamie Jealous. He used to play for my Aylesbury United non-league side. Love a bit of Jealous.
Yeah, Luke's put, I'm even more northerner than Shah. How do you pronounce Bolton?
No, I'd love to hear it.
Luke, come on, I'll send you the link for the stream just so you can come on and see it your way and go. But Ben, it's that time.
That's a hard one. It was a tough one to take, to be fair. You can't have a cup run every year, to be honest. I think to be honest, George should be out of the job really, because we didn't get us to Wembley this time, but such is life. It was a tough game for us. Like our record against Solihull, to be honest, I could have told you, to be honest, last week that we would lose to Solihull because we never beat them. We've played them 9 times now and we haven't won a single game against them. So they've always been our bogey team, and I felt for the lads because the effort was there. I felt, I thought we competed with them really well, particularly in the first half. Limited them to very few chances, to be honest. I agree with you, Claire, on that. And so I want to go back again. I hate
Don't
that
like
ground.
them. I hate them too.
No, honestly. Oh God. But yeah, so we looked quite good on the counter attack. We asked a few questions of them, but I felt like a couple of times this season our forward Aaron Blair's been a little bit isolated up top. He always needed maybe a target man next to him, and it just didn't seem to be sort of going his way a little bit. But to be fair to the defence, they kept him out for long periods. They had to deal with Jamie Osborne's long throws coming in constantly into the box, and it did cause problems maybe in the second half. We really don't like him, do we?
I don't like him.
The second half, game sort of just turned its head a little bit. And I hate criticising referees. I don't think I've done it too much this season, but the ref we had on Saturday was an absolute joke. He was, honestly. Every single little bit of contact the Solihull players got from our players, they would go down and hold their head. And you think, oh my God. But then again, we didn't adapt to their tactics, and that's the thing. We should have probably called to that. And obviously I'm more infuriated because their first goal was sort of come from our move, where we should have had the ball back, because one of their defenders went down with a supposedly head injury. Definitely was a head injury. He fell over. And it went back to one of our defenders, and the ref decided that it was their ball. So obviously they've kicked it long, they've earned a long throw out of it, and then we didn't deal with the long throw, and despite a couple of good saves from Alexis Andre Jr., they managed to go ahead. And I think, to be fair, the management were so incensed they were. I think I heard that George got a booking in the end from the referee over it. I mean, it was just so strange, some of the things that he was doing. I've always seen, like on the stroke of half time, we got a corner, and normally when someone's corner is given, a half time whistle is blown, which I fully understand that sometimes happens. But we were just about to take the corner, and the referee decided to blow his half-time whistle, which our bench were absolutely incensed by. They're all surrounding the fourth official and going like, "What is the point? Like, what is going on?" Because there was about 3-4 head injuries, and we only paid, I think, 1 added minute, and I just couldn't understand that. So actually, I think it was 45 on the dot. So I think he got the lowest rating we've given a referee this season. So not ideal. And then I think we huffed and puffed, didn't really create a match. I don't think we had a shot on target, to be perfectly honest. We didn't really ask enough of their keeper, to be honest with you. And up until sort of the 86th, 87th minute, we were still well in the game. But then I think a little bit of tiredness crept in. I think you could see the quality showed a little bit in the end from Solihull. They got themselves a penalty, which they took quite comfortably. And I thought, 2-0 for that's all right. But I felt the third goal was a bit harsh on us, and it's all set up by one of our loanees from last season, Michael Adupoku. And it was Connor Wilkinson that finished it off in the end. Good finish, to be fair. And cup run comes to an end. But I know we talked about the replays and that, and obviously I would rather have the replay sort of money, than getting 15 grand for losing, but it's 15 grand. So, we're pleased about that. We've earned another, probably another 10, 15,000 on top of it from the qualifying round. So we're pleased. Like I say, we've got to the first round again this year. It's a great achievement for any non-league club. 8 time in 11 seasons is a tremendous achievement for any non-league side. So it's a bit of a shame, but and I'm more of a shame of the fact, what could have been Shah. It could have been the repeat of 2016 again, but it wasn't to be. But to be fair, having the on-site to be, I don't think I would have really wanted Bromley, so I wasn't too disappointed when I saw the draw come out. But onwards to see if we can get to Wembley in the FA Trophy now, because that would be that's the one we want this year.
This made me laugh for Sean as well. Have you seen the standard of refs in the EFL, Ben? The stories I could tell you about them. Non-league or worse.
No, honestly,
I'm sorry.
non-league. Honestly, the standard officiating, honestly, this season at times, you just got to question it. In fact, it's the justification. But honestly, I don't normally get the I don't like to get the with refs at all. But I think I shouted at one point in the second half saying, "Ref, if you just want to give him the tie, can we go home now?" Like, it's just thinking it was getting to that point. And I was like, everything they got, and it's just like I would have loved to see how many fouls we gave away in comparison to them, because I think there would have been a hell of a big difference, but. It's like sometimes we get those sort of refs, and I think everyone does. So, yeah, just got to sort of move on from it, really. It is what it is.
Just think, though, Ben, at least no one shat on your chips. Like,
that is true.
Very
true. Life could be a hell of a lot worse, let's be honest.
God.
Hey, Sam, eh?
Exactly.
Want my chips?
Yeah, Sam was living his best life, like, woo! Got my
Did I share them? Did I bollocks?
Oh, that story. I love it. The best was what you sent in the chat, Sam, for subtitles.
Yeah, we'll say we can't say it because of what the subtitles, but just for everyone, for a bit of context, was obviously we had the chip story about the bird shitting on my brother's chips when he was younger, and so when we did the clip, I went to they use auto captions on the old TikTok, and what it had in there, I think, was relating to a vibrating device and something to do with my brother's chin. It was all very all very X-rated.
Even that doesn't understand my accent. Oh, funny. And Simon's put as well. He's put, I don't like him. Anybody remember Little Britain? Of course, I look like Vicky Pollard. Like, look at me in my tracksuit.
No, you don't.
None of you disagreed.
I disagreed, I did.
Oh, I'll let you off, Ben.
It's so obvious it was untrue, Charlie didn't even have to make a comment.
Hey, I've got a tracksuit on Likeable. That's the funniest thing. It's not quite pink, but it's close. Luke has put as well, I always end up shouting at the ref every week for a wrong decision that he makes. And Claire, I think this is to me. Unless I will pretend it's to Luke.
Could be to any of us, just at any point.
Don't like us. So.
Right, we're getting there now. The next slide. Before we get to you, Jen, on the game, Sam, any standouts? Obviously, it's Morecambe for all of us because we're just so happy we got the win.
Obviously, that's the one. But sorry, Man United just scored, so I'm a little bit distracted.
Who was it? Was it the commentary?
I don't know. I didn't see it. They're not happy about it. The other team. That's all I can say. So it might not be given yet. We'll see. What are my thoughts? I've got to be MK Dons 0, AFC Wimbledon 2. Of course, it's that one. And so obviously the podcast love. Funnily enough, I was in Milton Keynes yesterday. I had to go to Milton Keynes for a meeting, but you'll be pleased to know I left immediately after my business was done. I didn't stay there any minute longer than I had to. I drove away. And exactly, massive win for Simon says for AFC Wimbledon over MK Dons. Second time as well this season because they battered them in the league as well, didn't they? So double win. It's got to be that one. Just looking outside what else. I've been Claire. I've been there. It's a place. Get over it. It is a place. I've been there. We're talking about the place, not the club. So yeah, probably that one's got to be the one for me. And Harrogate as well, beating Wrexham, really massive win for them, and a big tie that they've got in the next round as well. So that's a huge one.
James has mentioned as well, stand out there. Another local club to me is Chesham. Good run from them. Chris has put Niall Rangers scoring a winner for Kettering. And Claire has put to you, Sam, yeah, I know, but they are MK, not MK Donsborough.
Oh, sorry. I missed the B on the end. Sorry.
That's why she shouted at you.
Donsborough.
What a name.
That should be a team, really. Donsborough. They could be the third rival of Wimbledon and MK.
Oh, funny. Jen, you cannot mention your result just yet, but any standouts for you on here?
Kettering Town.
Yeah.
Kettering Town. Just Kettering Town. I love them. I just think they're great. But yeah, I think that's a massive, massive win for them, especially in added time as well. Like, they obviously had full force going into this game, and it paid off at the end of the day. And now they're into the second hat, and that's massive for a team like that. So I'm really, really happy for them.
I love that. In the chat as well, Liam has put, Danny Cashman will soon be in the National League. He looks a right player for Worthing. We actually had him on loan. Honestly, we had him on loan when Robbie Stockdale were in charge for us. And he just never had the chance to play. And we saw glimpses of quality. And I would love to have him back, Danny Cashman. I really, really would. And what a player he is. And he's been through a really rough time in recent years as well, not just with football, with family life. So it's really good to see, obviously, that he's kind of got the ball rolling again. He's thought, right, I'm going to take that step down and build himself back up. He's closer to home as well. So I'm so happy for him, because what a lovely, lovely lad he is. Lovely lad. Ben, any standouts for you?
Can't knock it really, but that's like Kettering Town. I think people probably got to take into account that is a huge upset in terms of the context of how many leagues apart. I think it's 4 leagues apart. So, in a local derby for them. I saw the scenes at the end, and obviously it just brings back all that, the memories that we had last year. It's nice that, someone else has got that moment this year. I only saw the last 15 minutes of extra time, but they worked their socks off because they were dead out on their feet, Kettering. But I say first, I'll probably say the magic of the cup. It's just absolutely brilliant for them. They've had their history in the FA Cup with upsets in the past. Even taking Leeds United to a reap. I remember when I was a bit much younger. That's a huge, huge result for them, and I'm so pleased. And again, they've got another TV game against Football League opposition at home, so I think they've got a real chance of getting into the third round. Because I think that home crowd behind will give them that extra boost that they need. And to be fair, to be honest, really, I think I would probably say Morecambe, actually, because I think that was a tricky tie for them, the Worthing. I think everyone probably could have seen that. I think I had cup upset written all over it. Sorry, Jen. But, do you know what? But Morecambe, like I say, done the job. They had to obviously be a bit resistant at the time. I saw the highlights, and Worthing did create some good opportunities. Morecambe came back to be on the top form he did to make sure that, it wasn't an embarrassing result for them. But that's a huge booster for Morecambe, who needed the money, and needed a cup run this year. So, yeah, no, it's credit to them. But like I said, again, a great effort from Worthing. I think the manager was really pleased about how they went about the game. And I think you can only be delighted. It's not the first time I think they've hosted Football League opposition for a long, long time. And I think they can hold their heads up high for a great cup run. But yeah, terrific for Morecambe.
I'm just going to have to leave you hanging a little bit longer, Jen. I've just got a couple of comments in the chat, and then I will let you have your moment. Lucas put Northampton were awful against Kettering, and James has put Kettering have money. Times for your league players playing up there. Pro clubs can never handle non-league clubs. The style of play is completely different. And we do have Michael as well in the chat, and he's basically said, how were we 2-0 down so early? He's obviously a Rochdale fan. Honestly, go back to my rant after. I had a massive rant about that. It was so annoying. But Jen,
we won. We won. Yes. We won a game. We won. I think this is our 3rd win or 4th win. I don't know. I can't keep going anymore. But I'm so glad we managed to win that game, because going into it, obviously off the back of everything that's going on off field, all that situation, travelling down to Worthing, Liam will probably talk about this. It took him 7 hours to get there and about 6 to get back. It was a full day, and I'm so glad I was working. That's all I'm saying, because I could have not gone down there. I just think it could have been the furthest tie we got. I don't think there was a team further than that for us to get in the cup. It just felt like miles away. And I'm so glad for all the fans that travelled down there that they got to see a win, especially at a ground like that, because obviously we've never experienced a ground like that before. So it's completely different scenario for every single fan. It was great to have so many injured players back. Our list is now going down. And to have Jordan Slew back, incredible, because obviously the throw that he got in for the first goal, incredible. I can't rate Jordan Slew any more than they already do. Reece Williams as well. Apparently Reece Williams is really, really, really loved at Worthing, because obviously he's on loan from Liverpool. So everyone was like, oh my God, it's Reece Williams is playing at our ground, which I get, because as a non-league side, you're not going to see these big, massive players come out, but it was nervy because I never like 1-0 wins, like Leeds or anything like that. Like, at any point that can change. And knowing that there's no replays, it was a bit like, okay, like we have to win this in the 90 minutes because, one, we can't afford any more injuries. Two, we've got like so many games that come in other cups and league and stuff like that. We can't afford to be losing any more of our key players. And fair play to Worthing because they came out in the second half and showed just how good they are. And they are such a good side. Watching the highlights back, I was like, they really put us under pressure in the second half. And we managed to keep up with them. And obviously when Reece Williams banged in that second goal, it was over. And it felt incredible to get that win finally. Like, FA Cup for us has always been such a great thing for us, especially with the money side. Like, that's massive for us with everything that's going on off field. Having something like that's massive. So to get into the second round, get a home tie is massive. The gate money that we're going to get from that, because Bradford bring a lot of fans. I remember when we played them like a month or so ago, they sold out all their allocation. So again, that's a lot of gate money for us. There's money into the second round. If we win the second round, it's even more money. So it's like, we need a good FA Cup run. If we go out in the third round against a big team, so be it. We did that last time. But I think the money side is massive for us, especially with everything going on. But I think Worthing were incredible. Like, I will not say anything else, but they are a really, really, really good side. And I generally thought they would have scored at some point. But again, Stu Moore did some outstanding saves. And we're so, so lucky to have him. But full credit to Worthing because they were an incredible team. And I'm just so, so happy that we finally got a win in the FA Cup.
Is that a big smile?
We got Bradford at home. Sorry, by the way. It's just, when it's a league side, it's a bit like, oh, really? Because got someone else.
You never know, Jen. You never know. I hope you and Dietrich won't fall out, though.
No, never.
Not a chance. We love Dietrich too much, don't we?
We do.
But yeah, FA Cup chat is over. There was a few games in the league, so we will get on to the Championship and the weekend's game from the Championship. So Sam, the Championship man. We changed from the EFL man now to the Championship man.
Just wherever I'm needed, I go and try and provide some sort of commentary. So yeah, a Championship for me at the weekend. The one that stood out for me, Cardiff, with that late comeback against Norwich, who, to be honest, have been on an absolute tear since they got rid of Errol Bullitt and put in. I mean, Omar Reitz has been the interim there for probably about 2 months or so now, I think. I mean, that's their fifth win now in 7 matches, having not won in the first 7 games. A pretty impressive turnaround. And Norwich have been scoring goals and been scoring goals for fun. So I think for Cardiff, that's a really, really good result. And I saw the other week they were linked with Slaven Bilic as a possible coach, but I think the feeling is that Reitz is doing the job, and Reza, I don't know if you pronounce it Reitz or Reza, but that he would be the guy. He would be the guy to maybe give it to it, at least to the end of the season for sure, having earned it with the interim. They're now up in a reasonable position, having been in banging trouble. So that for me was a really good win. Elsewhere, probably Sheffield United just continue to kind of march on. I know at the minute, of course, Ant's not here, so I'll ask you who's top of the Championship. It's not Sheffield United, but of course that points deduction, it could well be, because they're looking kind of as strong and as consistent as anybody in the Championship. And the other one to mention at the minute is they're playing tonight as well. Burnley, I think, still 0-0. Of course, Dan is our regular Burnley fan, and he's a chef. And I don't know what he's serving up, but it isn't goals, I can tell you that, because they are struggling to score goals down at Burnley, and it's costing them dear at the minute. So I think it's going to start to be pressured season on Scott Parker soon, because they are, if nothing else, the games are turgid and they're boring and they're tight, and they haven't scored in like 4 of their last 7 games. It might be 5 tonight in 8. That's rubbish, considering that they're expected to be fighting. Now that Sheffield United look good, Sunderland had a shaky week, but they've been, fantastic so far this season. Leeds are going to be there. We all know Leeds are going to be there. So bit of a tricky one for Burnley. And Millwall are slowly doing the business as well, slowly getting some results. So Yeah, an exciting weekend in the Championship to make up for the fact there wasn't any other league fixtures.
I know. Jen, any standouts for you or any you want to talk about?
I didn't watch it and I didn't see anything, but I feel like I need to mention that Watford and Sheffield Wednesday game because it seems like Watford were just on fire. Like, to score 6 goals against Sheffield Wednesday is just insane. That's got to be like the game of the week. But then again, Luton West Brom 1-1. Is Rob still in a job? Is he out of a job? Is he being pushed out? It's hard to say what's going on behind closed doors at Luton at the minute.
If he's watching and he needs a friend.
Yeah.
I do love Rob Edwards, oh bless him. But yeah, Watford. Is Tom Cleverley at Watford? It is, isn't it? Is he manager?
Sure he is, yeah.
Yeah, he's the manager, yeah. I think, was it Bayo scored 4 times, didn't he, in about 20 minutes in there? It was an incredible run that they had in that game. And yeah, Cleverley's done an all right job so far. I mean, he's probably the longest reigning Watford manager in the last 10 years, isn't he? And he's done 4 months. So,
do you know why? That's why, to be fair, I was thinking, is Tom Cleverley still there? Because I couldn't remember if he was, because he's had that many managers. Ben, any standouts for you on here?
I would probably go with Millwall beating Burnley. I think, to be fair, Neil Harris has gone back in there and, he's doing wonders for them at the moment. Like I said, they're slowly just chalking up the wins and they've snuck into the playoffs now in the last week. So, that's a big boost for them because I don't think anyone would have probably expected them to be in and around that area maybe at this point of the season. Getting any win against Burnley, they've just come down from the Premier League. It's a big result. And I just find it mad as well. And obviously, I know we'll come on to it obviously after Tuesday's games, but Coventry City, obviously, with 3-0 win at Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have been doing very well recently. And then I think it's been put in the comments, put in the comments about they went down to 10-men borough, but still for Coventry, how the hell can they go for a 3-0 victory away from home against a top side like Middlesbrough to go and sacking their manager in less than a week? I don't understand. I just don't get it. Obviously, we'll have a discussion about that, so I'm sure in a minute, but. Yeah, I would have probably said their result because they needed that. They did to push them a little bit more away from the relegation zone at this point.
Definitely. Simon did put as well, even before Borough were reduced to 10 men, we were the better side and could have scored more. We've got our very own Ant as well in the chat, and he's got a really, really in-depth match report. He's put QPR game, we were crap, went down to 10 and got a draw. Take it and move on. I love it.
Right, about that.
Love it. And he's also put evening all. Blade Ramble has put as well. Evening, guys, just catching up. Look at those beautiful results. But yeah, next slide. Sam, the Championship man. What have you got for us now?
More Championship. I know. I didn't realise there was more Championship until this morning because I've had a busy couple of days. Like, oh my word, there's a whole load of results. And yeah, as you said, it's always weird with the double game week how you get one extreme to the other. You said with Coventry and Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough then went at 1-4-1 at QPR off the back of a 3-0 loss. It's almost, I suppose, the midweek one gives you that time to turn it around straight away. So Middlesbrough have been a really interesting one for me because they're not a million miles away. But they have had some disappointing results. I think they would probably expect to be doing a bit better. I know that they're struggling. Emil Latte-Lath's not doing what he was doing at the back end of last season. Goals have been a bit of a struggle apart from this one. So they just seem to be a team that struggle to put a run of results together. It is very win-loss for them at the minute. So they're going to have to do a bit better than that if they want to hit the playoff spots. It's a big one for them. Big one for Plymouth in the down the basement. Plymouth versus Portsmouth. Rooney needed that. I think it started to be. They had a couple of rough weeks. They had a couple of batterings, didn't they, in recent weeks? Plymouth. So they got Portsmouth down to the pasty shop, and they did the business. Did the business down at Home Park.
Do you know what I just got in my head though? Candy shop, but I had him.
I'll take you to the pasty shop.
Sorry, that's just how my brain works.
It's the Plymouth remix of the Candy Shop when 50 Cent came down and performed it at Plymouth Pavilions. Absolute classic. Probably elsewhere there to look at, and again, I'd say Oxford got another victory at home as well. Their home form's been really strong this season. Couple of weeks, I think, when they'd had struggle, and it's when you look at those three sides that have come up as well. I think if we looked at the start of the season, we were all saying Portsmouth out of the three looked the strongest, and they've really struggled. And Oxford have been just a really nice surprise, I think, for their fans to continue to do it and to continue to get the goals. So doing really well. And so we'll come on to Coventry, but I think Derby as well, getting that victory there is good for them and their season. I think Mr. Luke's made a comment there. Yeah, he looks really exciting. He's played the last couple of weeks, I think, and he's added a different dimension to Derby. So interesting to see how Tajani Brown continues on for them. So yeah, another exciting midweek in the Championship.
Love it. Jen, any standouts for you? I mean, there is one in particular. One in particular when you mentioned a certain Rob Edwards, isn't there?
Hey, a win away at Cardiff's a win away, all right? Like, he's got a win on the board, and that's all that matters right now. It may be a bottle of the table scrap, but we'll take any win we can get right now to keep him in a job. So, yeah, I'm happy for Luton, happy for Plymouth. Like Sam said, Wayne's been struggling a little bit over the past couple of weeks, so it's nice to see that he's getting back up there and getting them goals that are needed and dragging them further up the table.
And we love the pasties.
We love the pasties.
Love the pasties. Great pasties. Great times, good times.
They're not as traumatic as chips, have you?
No.
No, definitely not. Nothing. No pasty related incidents, I can assure you.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'll make sure I eat the next one indoors.
Ben, any standouts for you on here?
Well, so talking about Millwall again, aren't they? I think that's two excellent victories in a week against two strong promotion contenders. That's probably why they've whacked themselves up towards playoffs. And I mean, picking a side like Leeds, that would have been a proper grudge match in that for two sets of supporters. But yeah, that's a brilliant way to follow up. From that game against Burnley, it's been such a high after that. And I think obviously the Den is a place where sides feel very intimidated going there with the support base, the way that people probably get treated there. But you have to do a job there, and Millwall have certainly done that. So that's a big win for them. And to be fair, I think I'll give Sheffield Wednesday a bit of credit. Like I say, after reacting from that disappointing defeat against Watford on the Saturday, coming back, replying with a 2-0 victory over Norwich City is just what they needed. And that would have taken a bit of pressure off their players, I would have thought, because I dare say they probably didn't get the best reaction from their supporters after that one. But yeah, they've certainly been a bit more happy, and certainly defensively, they would have felt a bit more relieved as well after shipping 6 goals to having a clean sheet. It's just like we always say, the Championship is just such a crazy league, isn't it? There's a way, like we're just saying, it goes from one extreme to the other, and it is probably one of the most exciting leagues in the English football system. Just like the fact that anyone beats anyone in that league, it is absolutely mad. But yeah, like that's. Yeah, a couple of weeks, and also Oxford United as well. They are slowly chalking off the points they need to, and against Hull, that's not an easy task for them. And they've sort of pulled themselves away. I think the 2 points, pulled themselves a little bit more away from the relegation zone. And again, we're really hoping that I'd love to see them stay up, because what achievement that would be for a couple of their sides competing in such a competitive league with so much money involved. So yeah, that's probably a few of the outstandings from a very interesting midweek in the Championship.
Speaking of interesting, Simon has put, obviously, the Coventry City, we will get onto the second after, Coventry City 1, Derby County 2. He's put, Derby's goals were due to a bad back pass and a massive deflection over the goalkeeper. We have got as well, and he has put Preston away. We're very good. We're very good. Got a draw. Take that and move on. Ha ha. To be fair, though, Simon, Moore made a stunning save to keep us in it, and we couldn't get going.
Fun fact: Simon Moore is Stu Moore's brother that plays for us.
Oh, really?
Any relation there?
Yeah. I think Stu's younger. I think. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure Simon's. They're literally like spitting images of each other. If you put them together, they're like the same person. But yeah, Simon plays for Sunderland.
Oh, I love a sibling. Like,
yeah, I only found out the other day, and I was just like, oh, that's so nice, because she was at the game was it last night? Yeah, it was last night. he was there at the game, so it was nice to see him supporting his brother and being able to obviously get the chance to go there and watch him play, which is nice.
Oh, love that. Simon's put as well. Simon Moore is ex-Cov. And Anna's put, yes, he is, Jen. Only found out that today he's a fine-looking chap as well.
They both are. They definitely both.
He's a fine-looking chap. What a lovely way to put
it. Chris has put in a chat as well. Sheffield Wednesday. Good result on Tuesday at home after the smashing they got on Saturday. I feel like that's the Craig David song with all the days of the week in that. We got a good result on Tuesday after the smashing on Saturday. Yes. I love a sing song. That's probably why I've always got a sore throat. And has put, got Cov Saturday and we haven't beat them since 2007 and they've sat their gaffer. 0-3 long. Let's get on to that. So Simon, Glenn, Paul, if you are still in the chat, please have your say. But yeah, let's get on to that. Sam, do you want to go first?
Yeah, it's not gone down very well, has it, with the Coventry fans? I think it's fair to say it's absolute. I think Wikipedia pages have been hacked. There's pitchforks out. They're not happy, are they?
No.
At the end of the day, yeah, they obviously he's done so much for that club. He's taken them to the heights of where they are now in his second stint, and it is very difficult because you've got effectively a club legend there in terms of what he's done. And you can tell because there's such an outpouring of consistency from the Coventry fans. You usually, when there's a manager, it's usually a bit 50-50, isn't it? There's the some that don't, there's the some that do, but it seems to be pretty that they're absolutely fuming. And that the direction of the anger's towards the board seems to be that there's anger towards also some of the coaching staff. Bits I've seen of them as well, that the players haven't been consistent enough, not just this season, but I think probably since the turn of the year, to be fair, in the league. They had that really good run. And I will mention it because it's relevant today. Obviously, the FA Cup run last season took their eye off the ball a tad, I think, in terms of the league. So, but it seems to this season that the position isn't good enough. It's just the odd time to do it as well, because they've had some ropey results. And I think as Ben said, they beat Middlesbrough 3-0. They've won 2 out of their last 3 games. So it almost suggests that he's on the start of a turnaround, and he's the manager that's got the proven record with the club of doing that. He's turned them around when they've struggled before and sort of earns that before. And so I like Mark Robins. He's obviously got some United connections as well from the past. I think he's well respected in the game as well. He's one of my favourite Robins, behind Robin van Persie and Christopher Robin from Winnie the Pooh, of course, legendary Robins. But I can see and understand the Coventry fans' anger and frustration with it. To play devil's advocate, the board have obviously looked at it and gone, we've spent quite a bit of money for a team, to be honest, that haven't had any parachute payments. When you compare them to those kind of teams, they have spent a number of money and they clearly want to get to the Premier League, and they're looking at it going, we're not making the strides that we're making. And unfortunately, the boards always take the same decision. They go for the manager. You can't sack all the players. You can't, I had the similar thing. Obviously, my team have just ditched their manager in the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot of anger towards the players there as well. And quite happy to get rid of about 10 to 20 of those. But it's just it's what happens. It's that kind of case. So yeah, I think disappointing. Obviously, the long tenure that he's had. I wouldn't want to be playing for Coventry if they start to play a bit trash in the next couple of weeks, because I think the fans will be straight at them. But it is not gone down well, and I think not just the 3 Coventry fans in the chat that we've had tonight, but also social media and everywhere else. It seems to be pretty unanimous that they're not a happy bunch.
Yeah, Simon's mentioned as well, he's obviously a Coventry fan. He's put, we'd been National League if it wasn't for Robins. Ben, have you got anything to say on the situation?
I'd probably go further, actually, and say that, if it weren't for Mark Robins, would Coventry still be in existence, to be honest? Because the job he's done there, if they dropped into non-league football, then I think, to be fair, I think they would very much have struggled to keep going as a football club, because it damages a lot of clubs, to be honest. And Mark Robins took over when they were playing the games of likes, Birmingham and Northampton, and you think like there's just no light at the end of the tunnel. He persisted with it, and hello, man.
I just wanted to come on and talk about this subject, and then I will leave you to it.
Oh, okay.
I love the fact, Ant, that you just turned up as Amad Diallo scored for Man United. That's a sign. You bought me a goal from Amad Diallo just with your appearance.
He scored twice.
I know, you beautiful man.
Yeah, I think to be fair, look, he's done an unbelievable job there, Mark Robins. Look, what he's done for that football club. He's taken them to the brink of the Premier League. They were penalty shootouts away, a few penalty kicks away from being a Premier League team. And obviously, like we say, we don't really want to mention it too much, obviously, but they put them right back on the map with their FA Cup run last year. And they were a good side last year, and they had a whole backing of the whole city. They did, and I loved. I'd be like Sam. I like Mark Roberts. I think the way he came across when we went there last season, the FA Cup. He was so gracious. So humble. And I would have had a lot of time for him, to be honest. And I think it just shows that the loyalty of football has just gone completely out of the window now. I mean, as I think was a footy fanatics bit there. I think it's just 7 points off the playoffs. They're not in a bad way at the moment. I know they've had a couple of ropey results, but how do you go from winning at Middlesbrough to sacking your manager, in the space of a week? That just doesn't make any sense to me at all. If they were in a bad run of 6-7 games without a win, and they'd lost a good number of them, conceding a lot of goals, I'd get it. But it's certainly not as terrible as what maybe their board are thinking. But I'm looking at maybe, like say, in Sam's perspective, as look, they spend a lot of money. There's probably a lot of pressure on him to go up this year. How much they might lose if they don't go up, because we saw that with Leeds United, didn't we? I mean, like they were putting themselves under a lot of pressure after losing the playoff final last season, and it's put them on the back foot a little bit. But obviously they have reacted to it, and obviously it's gone the other way a little bit for Coventry. And I feel for the fans, to be honest, a little bit there, because it'd be interesting to see now what direction they go in, because Mark Robins has a certain way of playing for so long. And he's brought an identity to that football club, and it's just been diminished now. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on against. I mean, whoever's top of the league of Championship at the moment. So, oh, is that you, man? Is it? Oh, sorry.
And have yours say. You've come on especially to chat about this subject, so you go for it. Is it a rant? Is it an Ant's rant?
Nah, it's not a rant. It's not a rant. I did have a rant.
Right, I remove you now.
What it was about. I did have a rant. I can't remember what it was. You know what it is? I can see it from both sides. I can see what everyone's saying. He has done a fantastic job. Don't get us wrong, and he's a really, really good manager. But, and there's a but to this. Last season, obviously, the FA. I think the FA Cup, as what was said before, it has put them back on the map. But for me, I think they took that FA Cup and thought, right, this is our big chance, and it sacrificed the league position a little bit. And they never got in the playoffs last year, and for me, that put so much pressure on them starting well this season. And Coventry have always been poor starters to a season. They have. And it's just, for me, it's kind of not got any better for them this year. I know they've won a few games lately, and they beat Borough away and all that stuff, but they've not looked the same this year since last year. I'm saying that they'll hammer us on Saturday. You can see it in the stars now that a managerless Coventry, we've not beaten them for neck end of 18 years. They'll hammer us. You know what I mean? But I think it's a result. The problem is it's a results-driven business, and we all know what's the holy grail: get out of this league, get into the Premier League. And they've seen it now that they probably saw that the board seen it. Are we going to do that with Robins, or are we going to get someone else in because there's still plenty of games left? Is it going to be, we're going to get someone in, get that new manager bounce or whatever it is, hopefully get into the playoffs, because the league's still really, really tight, bar us. And then, hope for the best. The problem is I've got as well, and, I know Simon mentioned the same thing regarding us last year. Who's going to want to go there? Because there isn't an awful lot of money. There's obviously now, there's no loyalty at all. And whoever goes in now is going to face an immediate backlash from the fans if he doesn't get off to a very good start, because obviously Coventry fans wouldn't have wanted Robins gone. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I can see it from both sides, but you've got to also look at, like, as what Footy Fanatics mentioned there. They've lost Callum O'Hare, they've lost Gus Hamer, and the big one, they've lost Fickley Gyökeres. And we're seeing on Tuesday how good Fickley Gyökeres is. You know, he scored a hat-trick against the best team in the world, and he's a phenomenal footballer. And you don't recover from losing a player as good as that. It takes you 2 or 3 years anyway. So I don't know. I think, for me, I would probably write Coventry off now for this season and give them, give them this year to start again. Hopefully, get the right man in and then see what they're going to do next year. But Mark Robins will walk in any other managerial job in this country. You know what I mean? Championship level and below, he will walk in. Whichever job comes available next, he'll automatically be favourites. But I think he'll probably take a little bit of time. He's been there for God knows how long. He's been there since 2017, I think. So, he's been there a long time. He might want to take, a little bit of time to do himself and everything, but he'll walk into another job. The big win of this will be Mark Robins.
Oh, I just feel really sad. I just feel like it's the end of an era.
Well, he was the longest serving manager in the Football League. Well, like, obviously not the Premier League and all that, but in the Football League, longest serving manager. The second only is the guy at Harrogate, isn't he? But his doesn't count.
Weaver, yeah.
Jen, do you have any thoughts on this?
I just feel like there's no loyalty in football anymore. Like everyone else has said, they're not bottom of the table. If you're comparing it to Morecambe, we're bottom of the table and our manager's going nowhere. It's you need to stick by him and support him, because obviously it's hard in the Championship. It's his hardest league to be in, hands down. To try and get promoted from that takes some money, takes real good players to get out of that league. So I do feel bad that he has been let go, because like everyone said, he's only 6-7 points off the playoff. It's not the rock bottom and they've lost 6, 7, 8 games. The winning games, they're more than good enough to get into the Premier League. And I just feel the owner, the backroom staff, anyone behind the scenes just hasn't really got faith in him or really understands the fans in the club. A lot of us say our clubs are like family, and it feels behind the scenes now it's more like a business than thinking about what the fans want and what the fans really deserve. And to let go of Matt Robins is just ridiculous. And I just feel going into the weekend now, the fans are going to be on something. They're going to be mad, and if they don't get a win, it's going to turn nasty fast.
Oh, I'm proper sad.
Can I just reply to Stevie Lee's comment there?
Yes,
Luke's the Coventry one. What was their aim? Guarantee your promotion, 100%. Because obviously they were a penalty kick away 2 years ago from getting into the Premier League. Last year, like I say, I think they prioritised the cup run because they got into a good run, and then obviously no disrespect to Maidstone, who had a wonderful run, but they saw that as was that the quarterfinals, Ben? That one.
That was the 5th round. It was
5th round, yeah. So they saw that as getting into the quarterfinals, and they beat Wolves, was it?
Wolves
to Manchester United, playing a Man U team who, as Sam will probably agree to, is this, who were a little bit, off and on last year.
Shaky,
yeah. They must have thought that, we could get to the FA Cup final, and I think they've sacrificed league position there because they were a little bit off anyway. But Coventry normally come with a late run, but once that happened, and kind of I would assume, the way it happened, we're not getting into the VAR stuff because it's it was 7 months ago, but I would say this year would be at least playoffs, but automatic. And the fact is now we're 14 games in and they're nowhere near. I know that 7 points doesn't sound huge, but you've got to be winning there 4 or 5 games more than the rest of the rest of the teams who are already pushing for playoffs, and there's teams in better form than Coventry at the moment. I think they will turn it around, but for me, I think there's a lot more going on there than meets the eye. I think a lot of stuff going behind Robins' back. He lost his assistant, didn't he, in the summer, which I think's not done wonders, to be honest. And they brought in other other players, this, that, and the other. Let's see what happens with him. But yeah, it is sad. It's sad for him, I think. I feel really bad for him because I think he's done a fantastic job, but he'll get another job, no problem.
I think just to add as well, I think it's really tough. The fans are feeling having a manager for that long, which most teams and clubs don't have. That, you know, no one gets that long now. 6-7 years is almost unheard of. To have someone that's been there and been the institution of your club for that long, the attachments are insane. Like, I can only compare it to, say, obviously I had Sir Alex Ferguson for that long, crazy period. And when they leave, it's just like there's a hole, there's a gap, there's a feeling that it's just not right. It's not what you're used to, particularly when you still love that manager. You know, there's a period, we've all had it, we've fallen out of love with a manager, it's not right, and you kind of enjoy the fresh start. But when you do have that feeling of love for it, then you love your club and they're part of that. And suddenly you know, it may only hit some of them when they look at the touchline at the weekend and he's not there, and they'll be like, this just doesn't kind of feel right. So it's a tough one probably for them to process because of how quickly it's happened as well, because they wouldn't have expected it to happen this week. You know, if you'd have said going into that derby game, having beat Middlesbrough 3-0 at the weekend, you'd be like, well, there's no way Robbins is getting sacked this week. And even the way they lost to Derby wasn't like they got battered, was it? It was just, yeah, so a real shocker probably for them to contend with. But
it's probably a shock for like the whole country as well. So you look at, I'm just like having a quick look on the odds, and it's 4-1 the field, and if Frank Lampard's the favourite, I mean, if I was a Coventry fan, I'd be literally like worried shitless.
He was linked with Roma last week. Christ,
yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah. Well, you've got like the next best, like 6-1. You got 10-1s. There's like not an immediate favourite, so I wonder if they are going to take the time in you know, making a decision, and maybe they might look abroad and look at like a young manager, you know, something like that, something completely different to what Robbins was.
I love it as well. When we're all having a really serious moment, there's always someone in the chat who posts them at random. And Sean's done it this week. He's put, and I agree, it is a northern thing because I do it all the time. Yeah. But Jen, can I ask you a question? Is saying like a lot a northern thing? It is because I do it too.
Yeah. It's just northern. Just northern people.
Jen's middle name.
Yeah, like.
Jen Lycund.
Yeah, might as well. That's fine.
I'm not
sure.
He's
abroad.
Is he abroad?
Mm.
There is a manager free at the minute.
Southgate.
Yeah.
Ten Hag.
Yeah.
That'd be thinking after all that VAR chat, weren't it? Ten Hag comes in.
That would be ironic, wouldn't it? If they got 10 Hag. But no, I mean, you mentioned Southgate, and I don't think it would be Southgate, but on the England front, Lee Carsley. Might be a shout. You know what I mean? I think that would be quite a clever appointment, to be totally honest with you. But I agree with what Simon's saying. Now I think they'll get a head coach next, like, you know, and I think it'll probably be someone we've never heard of from some league in Italy or France or whatever, because that seems to be the in thing now, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Like getting someone else who don't think anyone has really heard of, who has done well at a youth team level or whatever. Crazy.
I love Luke. Honestly,
I mean, I'm immediately ruling myself out of it, Char. Just for no, I don't want to go to Coventry.
It's a bit of a commute for you, to be fair, Ant.
Yeah, it's a long way.
Oh man. Right. The table. So I will ask you, Anne, who is top of the championship?
Yeah, still. You know what, as well, we've give teams a chance this week. We haven't won, we haven't scored this week, and we're still top. But yeah, I mean, Sheffield United are closing in. You know, we've like I say, I've mentioned before, we've got Coventry on Saturday, and Coventry are a massive bogey side for us. So I think if we're still saying this time next week who's top of the championship, I'll be over them, to be honest with you. But you look at the gap. I mean, I keep on saying this, don't I? Look at the gap to 7th. I know West Brom play tonight, but I'll be 8 points because they'll go above Watford for midnight. 8 points to the playoffs is still a hell of a lot. And 4 points to Leeds, 7 to Burnley. You know, we're creating a gap now where even if we're not top next week, we'll still be top 2. We'll keep going. And we just got to keep it as we've got a national break after Saturday, I think. So then we get this the next kind of, step to go to is probably Christmas, get Christmas out of the way, see where we are at the end of there. If we're still top, mint. If we're not, then fair enough. But I'm still enjoying myself. I'm still happy, even though we haven't scored this week.
Footy Fanatics put, well, Sunderland would only be equal if Blades didn't have points deducted. But they did have
if my
points
ground
deducted.
had wheels, she would be a bike. It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And we'd still be top because we've got better goal difference.
Exactly.
So, there you go. Well, now we're fault that Sheffield United got deducted 2 points, wasn't it? We're still there.
All your fault, Anne.
All your fault. And nuts, my friend. There we go. West Brom just drew 0-0 with Burnley. So there's a gap of 6 points now to Burnley and 8 points to West Brom. So I'm over the moon.
But yeah, it's probably been updated now, this table, but my table says, so obviously Sunderland are top with 30 points. Sheffield United are second on 28 points. Leeds United are third on 26 points. Burnley are fourth on 23 points. Millwall are fifth on 22 points. Watford are sixth on 22 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Plymouth Argyle on 15 points. 23rd, a QPR on 10 points. And bottom of the championship is Portsmouth on 9 points.
They're down already, by the way. I'll say that now. It's 7th of November. Happy birthday, Mum, by the way, Sugar. if you're watching, which you won't be. But yeah, 7th of November, 2024, and we'll say Portsmouth are down.
Oh.
Dear.
Oh. Are you staying, Anne?
Go on, I'll stop for a little bit.
Yeah, we've not got much to cover anyway. Just a couple of games in League One, and then it's National League, North and South. But yeah, I won't ask you about your standouts of the week because we have a 0-0 draw, and then Wycombe Wanderers beat Stockport 5-0. So I think I know everyone's standouts anyway. So I do have a match report from Claire. She sent it before. She has put County 0, Wycombe 5. It was just one of those freak results. We were garbage all night and shot ourselves in the foot, conceding 3 in 8 minutes. Oh, Aaron Morley, she gives a mention to. He used to play for us. I love Aaron Morley. She's mentioned players and said they're all amazing. Wycombe by far with the best team we've played so far. They'll be lucky to keep Richard. Is it Cone or Cone?
Cone, I think.
Yeah, Cone. Only 21 and so good. Humphrey's best player on the pitch, broke up all the play and bossed it. So we won't spend a lot of time on here. But yeah, I will read out the table really quickly. Wycombe Wanderers are top at the moment on 29 points. Birmingham are second, also on the same points. In third, we have Wrexham on 25 points. Mansfield Town are fourth on 24 points. Lincoln City are fifth, also on the same points. And Bolton Wanderers are sixth on 23 points. And then in the relegation zone, in 21st, we have Crawley Town on 11 points. Cambridge United are 22nd on 10 points. Shrewsbury Town are 23rd on 8 points. And Burton Albion are bottom with 5 points. And hands off Jim. Hands off Jim while I'm at it. I'm putting out there. But yeah, National League North results. So who should I come to first? Who wants to shout out any highlights for anyone?
Well, Needham Market didn't lose, so that'll do.
Yes. Massive point. I always go with Radcliffe's draw against Scunthorpe.
Yes.
That's a tremendous result, and they have just suddenly picked themselves up again. It is funny how one result then turns to about 3 or 4 really good results. It's just like we always say, confidence is a massive thing in football, and even as far as you go down the pyramid, it's still the case. And that'll be 2 points dropped for Scunthorpe, whatever way you look at it, really. I mean, they should be dropping points to Radcliffe if they want to win that league. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a killer, that with Curzon and Ashton on their tails at the moment. We're still a couple of games in hand. So that would have probably been our main one, because apart from that, it's been fairly standard sort of weekend, really, and say quite a fair few draws along the way as well.
I just wanted to address this as well. Sean, I'm really sorry we'll not be doing the pizza cup because there was that much like FA Cup and stuff. This week we will not be doing it, so I do apologise if obviously you was waiting for that. I'm so sorry. Dietrich put Darlington winning over Farsley. In the chat as well, we have. This made me laugh because we've been proper bigging up Hereford, haven't we? And obviously, Aled has put, seriously, Hereford. So we have done the podcast jinx at its finest, bigging them up, and then they go and lose 3-0. So, yeah, I'm really sorry, Hereford. Or if there is any Hereford fans watching, I apologise. We take full responsibility. But Chris has put as well, Needham away, one of the longest trips, and we came away from Needham Market with a draw. Wasn't the best of games, but we got our goal on the 77th minute after a nice through ball for Junior Mondal. He rounded the keeper to put it into the back of the net, but it was into the 5th minute of injury time when Seth Chambers got the equaliser for Needham. Point shared in the end. Are you buzzing, Ant?
There's only one Seth Chambers.
Chambers.
It's a great name, and it's a proper like Northern League name as well, and it's Seth Chambers.
Was it absolute limbs? In that,
limbs down
absolute limbs when he scored.
Yeah.
I love the fact Spain fan Chris used the words. Where did he put it? It came away from Needham Market with a draw. And in my head, I came away from Needham Market with a nice handbag and a new coat.
Do you know what it is, Sam? I mentioned this last week. We need to go. Like, we need
It's
to
the place. It is the place.
Out at Needham, go to the match and all that, and then have a night out.
Team Needham. Where is Needham Market? I've absolutely no idea.
Is it near Norwich?
Yeah, it's near Norwich and Ipswich.
Yeah. I think we should go. It's a long way, but I think we should go.
I do apologise, Sean, but if you do want to send in your match report, I will read it out if you have got one. I just thought I cannot spend all day because we do have lives as well, and a lot of people have work tomorrow, don't we? So it might be a very long night covering all the football. And I've also not covered the National League Cup as well. That was
you
one.
won that, didn't you?
Really?
We did.
Hendo scored, didn't he?
Oh, love Hendo. It's 151st goal it was, and it was a cheeky chip. Love Hendo. I just wanted to answer this one as well. Footy Fanatic has said, who does everybody support? So, Sam, I will go to you first. Who do you support?
Who do I support? I support Bayern. No, I support Manchester United. But I just turn up here because I love every other team. And my non-league team is Aylesbury United, who are riding third at the minute in Southern League Central Division 1. But bring the Ducks home because they've not played in Aylesbury since at least 20 years, 25 years, actually playing at Chesham. So bring the Ducks home.
Jen, who do you support?
The big, mighty Morecambe FC.
I love it. Ben, who do you support?
Super Stones, Maidstone United.
And I'll just ask you again, who do you support? And if nobody knows, they are top of the championship.
Yeah, the team flying high at the top of the championship by 2 points.
And Needham Market.
Sunderland EFC.
And if you don't already know, I'm a Rochdale fan. For me.
For me.
This made me laugh as well. Cheeky chip with a bit of bird sauce on top. Yeah. Lucas mentioned he spots Gateshead, one of the best teams in the North East currently.
Second best. Definitely, totally agree with him.
Yeah. Obviously, we do have full fixtures as well. So, anybody want to mention any standouts?
Terrific win for Marine against Chorley. I don't think anyone would have seen that one coming from where they are. I mean, they were, I think, bottom of the table before that one. So, yeah, 3-0 against top side in Chorley again, who are second in the league at the moment. Like I say, I don't think anyone would have seen that coming, even if it is a midweek game and a trip to that lovely venue at Marine where it's so enclosed, and you've got people from your houses watching. It's absolutely brilliant for them. So, again, they're a club. I hope they do stay up because I love the story they've got there. It's a proper non-league setup. That's the thing. It's probably the highest you'll ever go, Marine, in terms of seeing a proper non-league ground where you can watch the game from your house like they do. So that's a big one for them. And again, another big win as well for Oxford City at Hereford. I think they've had a bit of a poor Callis has had a bit of a bad week there. When they were absolutely flying, they've now slipped out the playoffs. But Oxford City, again, that's a big win away from home. That it's not a massive, it's not a major distance for them to go to. But again, for a side of with their resources, they'll be absolutely thrilled with that one. It's a shame our Uncle Nick doesn't do the old match reports anymore. And that he would have been absolutely buzzing after that one.
They loved it. Well, at least they've got a local a local game at last for Oxford City. What the bloody hell are they doing in the National League North? So I'm not on there as often as you guys. They're an hour from me, and I live in Southampton in the south. What's that all about?
They are always the first side to get the chop, though. That's the thing. I think it's either them or Braintree. That's the thing when they were playing in the south, because they're sort of in that sort of line. They've been known to play a number of years in the National South, but they've been known to play a number of years in the National North. Honestly, I would hate to be an Oxford City fan, put it that way. Apologies to any Oxford fans in the chat, by the way. I just couldn't stand doing those trips every week.
Yeah, just a short trip to Darlington this weekend. Bloody hell.
No, but actually, another quick one. I think Chris has just mentioned it, but Spennymoor 3-2 against Scunthorpe. Drop points again. That's a big win for them. I would maybe be right, Chris, saying maybe one of the best results in maybe the club's history when you take the context into it. The club it is that you've been playing against. So, massive well done to them because, that's sort of keeping them in touching distance of the playoffs as well. And they needed that really after that late goal on Saturday against Needham Market. So, brilliant result for them.
He has sent in his match report as well, which I will read. So, Scunthorpe at home, wow. Spennymoor beat the league leaders at home, beat them last season at home. Goals came in the 32nd minute when Ross Barrows scored the wonderful shot, but the game turned on its head when Matty Dolan scored from the free kick, and then the Scunny keeper made a massive error in giving away a penalty, and it was 2-1 Spennymoor at half-time. It was in the last 10 minutes where the excitement happened. Scunthorpe got themselves a penalty to make it 2-2, but the Scunny players felt hard done by when the ref getting in the way of a Scunny player and Spennymoor took advantage, and Rob Ramshaw scored a lovely curling shot into the back of the net to make it 3-2, and that is how it finished. Love it. What a win. What a win. He's put as well to you, Ben. Big game on Saturday against Curzon.
That'll be a tough one with the form they're in at the moment. But if they can follow up that result, then certainly they've got every chance of finishing in those playoff places if they can beat those teams in and around them.
Any other games anyone wants to talk about?
Well, obviously Needham Market getting another point. I know we're winning. But Rushall Olympic.
Two games unbeaten. What could be better for them?
It's a week unbeaten, yeah. Like all of the teams I follow haven't lost this week, so we just haven't won either. There we are. Go on, Needham. Off the bottom.
Safety.
So, the top of National League North, we do still have Scunthorpe United on 29 points. Chorley a second, also on 29 points. Kings Lynn Town a third on 27 points. Curzon Ashton a fourth on 26 points. Buxton are fifth on 25 points. Kidderminster 6 on 25 points. Jen, lucky 7th. Southport on 25 points.
Jim Bentley's Barmy Army are going up to the National League. Telling you now.
I love it. Radcliffe are 21st in relegation. If anybody's listening on audio, I just went straight to it. Radcliffe are 21st on 14 points. Marine are 22nd on 13 points. Needham Market are off the bottom They are 23rd on 12 points, and Rushall Olympic are bottom of National League North on 11 points. Right. National League South, Ben, our National League South. Talk to us.
I mean, there was a lot of away wins, put it that way. No home wins on the Saturday. I think they were, to be fair, mostly, what I expected, to be honest. But I think, to be fair, in terms of the context, I think in terms of the bottom at the moment, that's a good win for Weymouth away at Avely. Sort of a 6-pointer even at this stage, because both sides have really struggled to get wins under their belt. But in terms of Weymouth, they needed that to sort of lift themselves off the bottom. So yeah, they really need to sort of build on now and get sort of a run together, because they are in danger of going down at the moment. And that's the thing. I think we've always said, I think Avely, the second season syndrome's getting to them a little bit. They're struggling to score goals. They lost a lot of their best players, and I think it's starting to show now a little bit. Albeit they're not getting absolutely smashed in games at the moment, but again, you've got to be able to. If you're not scoring goals in that, you have to be secure defensively, and of course, they've not been quite that just of recent. But yeah, I'll tell you what, massive, big 3 points for Chippenham at Welling. I don't think I would have seen that one coming in terms of the scoreline. I mean, Welling have really struggled this year. Rod Stringers, I think struggled. They beat it after their Ken Cup. There's always their FA Cup final victory over us a couple of weeks ago in the Ken Cup. So didn't manage to follow that up with a win against Chippenham, but. Yeah, they've sort of come out of the blue for them, because they've been sort of a bit up and down. Chippenham, they always are, to be fair. They're sort of a side that always, safe, never really in danger of getting promoted, but they're really in danger of getting relegated. But that'd been a great trip back for those Chippenham supporters. But Eastbourne Borough as well. They're now the new leaders of the National South. It's quite incredible considering the season they had last year, but they've used the budget well, which is what they should have done last year. And Hemel really struggled in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think ever since their FA Cup defeat, it's just gone completely wrong for them. I think their honeymoon start to the season's just suddenly been burst now, and I think they're slowly slipping down the table for where they were at top of the league. They're now getting close to mid-table, so they need to sort it out there a little bit, because I think they're a side that really wanted to get in the playoffs this year. So yeah, it's an interesting one, I'd say, weekend-wise. But yeah, I think they were probably the real standouts, I would say.
And then before I let you talk of a Maidstone game, is there any standouts here for you, or any you want to mention?
I think Slough sort of continue their good form in that. They're sort of keeping in touch with the playoffs. Didn't see many of the goals. I saw Scott Davis's free kick, lovely free kick.
What a goal!
I know, yeah. I did see your tweet about it. It was like, it was a great free kick. And I've said before in here, I got a lot of time for Scott Davis. I think he's a terrific guy, in the way he comes across, and loved his celebration, the whole shushing and everything like that, running around like an absolute idiot. But that's the thing. That's why I love this division. Like, you do still see, the player managers at this level, and it's brilliant. But Bath are in a real big problem at the moment. I get on with their media guy very well, and they said it's his banners. He's seen them to us, considering where they were last year in the playoffs with us, and they've again, I don't know what's gone wrong there, to be honest. I thought they added really well to their squad in the summer. I thought a couple of good players. They brought one of our players in, Solwan Joe Smith, and it's not clicked there at all. And the Jerry Gill, the manager, there's got a bit of work to do there, because albeit they're 4 points still off the bottom four at the moment, it's still a bit of a sticky situation, which they've got to find themselves out of quickly, because I still have that feeling that St Albans will get out of this situation they're in. And at the moment, one of the top sides maybe from last season is going to go down, which be a big surprise. So we'll wait to see on that. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. We've got one for Hornchurch against Hemel. Again, Hornchurch are now starting to sneak up the table a little bit from where they were. But they were just about relegation zone. Now they're nearly creeping into the top half now. So it's coming together a little bit now for Darryl McMahon side. I think they're starting to adapt to the level now. I think we've got them on Saturday, so that'll be interesting to see how they've sort of progressed. It'll be our first game with them since we lost to them 5-4 in the FA Trophy back in COVID season. So our record against
away, Ben.
Huh?
Are you at home or away?
Well, at home, thankfully. I don't have to go to their place just yet. So
at least you're not awake, because you wouldn't be able to mention anything from the game, because what happens in Hornchurch stays in Hornchurch.
That's true. And we never win at Hornchurch anyway. Our record there is absolutely terrible at their ground. So I'll be waiting. I'm quite happy to wait for that one later on this season. But no, I'm looking forward to that test. But yeah, no, that's pretty much straightforward. In terms of us,
Talk to us.
yeah, against our favourite, manager in the league with Mark White, we absolutely it was a tough game. I think Dorking is suffering a lot with injuries at the moment, and it showed a little bit. They lost 2 players in the first, I think, half an hour. They had to make 2 substitutions for injuries, including Noel McManus, who's one of their real standout midfielders who sort of controls the, helps the back four quite a lot, and he's very creative as well in that final third, and that was a big loss to them. We approached it, I thought, very well. It was a very intense game at the start, and then slowly sort of became a little bit of a long ball game. And Dorking, who not normally used to doing long balls now, they were doing a lot more long balls than I expected, unless that was what they were instructed to do. And to be fair, I think maybe we took advantage of a couple of mistakes at the back. I think we could have been ahead there, to be honest, but we just didn't have that cutting edge in front of goal. And the game sort of changed in its head a little bit just about 10 minutes before half time. Reece Greenwich, who got sent off the last time we went to Meadowbank in a 3-2 loss, and he clearly loves that ground because he got himself sent off again. So and this time it was a apparent elbow. I've watched it back, and my personal views, I thought it was a red card personally the first time of seeing it. A lot of supporters and a few people around the club think it might have been very harsh. It might have just got away with yellow, but from the angle I looked at, it looked like he'd gone with sort of elbow first, and it's sort of a killer for us because I think Mark White says like anyone that goes down to 10 men against us, will suffer. And I thought it was going to be a long night because only 2 minutes after that, Brendan Camp scored the only halves goal, and just thought, oh, God, it's going to be a long 45 minutes. To be honest, I did not see us getting back into that game. I thought, oh, that's it. Tuesday night away to Dorking, we're going to get humiliated by them again because we never beat them, we never get close to beating them. And to be fair, George, had to make a change at half time. He had to, change the shape, which he did. He went to a 3-4-2, brought on Harry Lodovica to help support Aaron Blair up top. And second half came out a completely different side. We were absolutely fantastic. We were, in the way we approached it. Scored a brilliant goal. Ben Brooks slipping the ball down the left-hand side for Aaron Blair, cut inside, superb finish into the far corner. And it gave the lads a massive lift, and actually the supporters as well, because I think they were a little bit down. I thought, oh God, it's going to be a long evening. But yeah, no, they were absolutely brilliant the way they approached it. They kept pressing. That's the thing. They had a lot of distance to cover because playing against Dorking with 10 men, you have to run around quite a lot. But those players kept putting them under pressure, and we don't think they really hurt us, to be honest. Dorking, I one of their supporters, I've been very disappointed with the way they went about that second half. But you know what? Massive credit to Mark White because, he gave us all the credit we deserved at the end in his post-match interview. He even came over to our supporters at the end of the game to clap him. And I think that's the first time our supporters have actually clapped him because normally he gets a lot of abuse from our supporters. The last time we played him, he came across the pitch after fans getting his abuse. He just came out doing that with the on money. And so I absolutely loved it. But he didn't need to do it on this occasion. He was an absolute class act. He was, as we always seem to find. Now we've got a good relationship now, I think, with Dorking. Over the years, I think our owners got a good relationship with Mark. And yeah, that's a big point for us away from home with 10 men. I hope that's now 6 games unbeaten in the league. So hopefully we can kick on with that now. So we're slowly creeping up the table again. I know we're still 17, but again, let's say we've still got games in hand. If we win those games in hand, we're up near the playoffs again. So it's funny how it'll quickly change, but we need a win big time on Saturday because otherwise I feel like the players might start come under some bit of pressure at the moment because now we haven't got the FA Cup anymore. So we've still got the FA Trophy, I guess, but the main priority is to get out of this league. And, we've got to make sure now we build on from Tuesday because that's a huge point. And I almost felt like that was a win for us a little bit. So, yeah, absolutely delighted with how Tuesday went.
Love that. Love that.
Up the storms.
This made me laugh as well. I think Luke's sick of us.
Yeah.
Great show, everyone.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
See you later.
Basically saying bye now. And great show, everyone. Good luck to everyone on Saturday. Get me to the weekend. Cannot wait for it. Bye, Luke, if you do have to go. And thank you, as always, for tuning in. I mean, Gateshead didn't even have a game and he's still tuned in to watch us. So
he was watching us on holiday, wasn't he? When he was on holiday, bless him, sat there on the balcony on holiday watching this.
I know. We love Luke. Anthony as well has put, does Jen have a little bow on her head? Very snazzy. Everybody looks great today.
Aww.
Thank you. Love that. Thank you.
I was going to say, not only is she wearing a little bow on her head, she is rocking the little bow on her head.
She is rocking it.
Guys, rocking it.
Rocking it.
And it's red and white as well. I love it.
Exactly. So, National League South table. So, top we have Eastbourne Borough on 31 points. Truro City a second on 28 points. Western Supermare a third on 28 points. Torquay United a fourth on 28 points. Worthing a fifth on 28 points.
God.
Farnborough a sixth on 27 points. Dorking Wanderers are seventh on 26 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have St Albans City, who are 21st on 11 points. Weymouth are 22nd on 11 points. Enfield Town are 23rd on 9 points. And Averley are bottom of the National League South on 8 points. And that is it for the football. But, Anne, have you thought of your rant yet?
I have actually.
It's as if I'd known.
So in 3 weeks we play Sheffield United away, right? And me and my cousin were like, "I want to get a few away games this season and stuff." We're going. Went to where'd we go? I can't remember now. We won anyway. We're going to Blackburn on Boxing Day and everything like that. And my kind of rant is, bearing in mind we're going into the Christmas kind of run where everyone's skint and stuff and buying stuff for Christmas, and bearing in mind this game's on Sky as well, so you can watch it on Sky for whatever it is you pay for it. Sheffield United, in their infinite wisdom, are charging Sunderland fans 38 quid to go to watch a championship game. 38 quid. I've got to be honest, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm sure other teams will do that to us because we sell out quite a lot of weekends and stuff. But I think that is absolutely shocking. Like, we went to Preston on Wednesday and I bought a ticket from a mate who went down, 23 quid. So how is the same team 15 quid more for in the same league? I think that is absolutely Anthony says that. I think that's absolutely horrific. I've got to be honest, and I'm not blaming anyone at Sheffield United, the fans or whatever, but whoever thought of that pricing schedule, like literally a month before Christmas, really needs looking at, because I think that's shocking. And bearing in mind, I think me and my cousin is still on about, I don't know who's the biggest idiot about it, because we're still on about paying it. But if you look at traveling costs, I think we're getting the bus, and the bus is, I think it's 30 quid both ways, so 30 quid, 30 quid travel. So there you're looking at 60 quid, 68 quid before you have a drink, before you set off. 68 quid. I can't fathom that. I know there's tiers and this, that, and the other, but I don't think we ever charge anyone anywhere near that. I've got to be honest. I don't know for certain what we charge. I've got to be honest, because obviously I watch us from home, but anyone who's charging that in any league below the Premier League needs looking at. In fact, even in the Premier League, that is just, that's just pricing fans out of it. That, you know what I mean? It really is. I'm really when I saw that today, I thought, that's just ridiculous. I've got to be honest. So yeah, that's it really. That's me rant. Just stop pricing fans out the game. That's a lot of money to fork out just before Christmas. I've got to be honest.
No, I completely agree.
It's mad, isn't it? I mean, you said that, it's too much for a Premier League. It's almost like they just kept the Premier League pricing structure. And even if that's the case, it's too much for the Premier League. But yeah, that's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. But there is, because nobody will sell out, because we sell out pretty much everywhere we go, you know what I mean? Especially now where you know, we're playing really well, we're top of the league and stuff like that. We had 5,000 fans at Preston yesterday, you know what I mean? It's just a monumental effort, you know what I mean? And going out to Sheffield, it's like, 2 hours away in the car or whatever. We will sell it out, you know what I mean? But I just don't get that. I really don't. I think 38 quid, I mean, I think that's a hell of a lot of money to fork out, you know, I really do. It's not even that nice. It's not even that nice stadium. I've been before. I've actually been before. It's,
Demetrius put our tickets to Crewe for the game in early December. Adults are £28.
That's a lot of money. Yeah. That's a lot of money. You know, I think it should be 25 quid, should be the most expensive it should be. And then you've got room to manoeuvre there. You know, that's your category A fixture, 25, category B, 15, 20, and then keep on going down. But I think it's, I think what Anthony says there is right. Obviously, that us and Leeds, because, and I'm not being like big-headed or anything like that, but I would say us and Leeds, historically, the biggest clubs in that league. Yeah. Just for like the history and stuff like that. And I think because we both do sell out massive, and Leeds came up on a Friday night a few weeks ago and were brilliant. The fans were absolutely magnificent. I think it's probably because they know that we will go there, so it doesn't matter what the charge. But I'm having second. I've got to be honest. I'm having second thoughts about going, and I think that's a little bit of shit. Because obviously we've got quite a big November. You know, I've got a night. It was my mate's birthday Saturday. Got a works night out and all that. Then we've got our night 2 weeks today. And then that, I think that may be a little bit too much, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Scandalous. Bloody scandalous. Footy Fanatic has put that's bang on what I was going to say.
Yeah. And to be fair, like, obviously, if we charge, because we've got Sheffield United at home, obviously we'll have towards the end of the season. If we charge us anywhere near that, will you let us know? Because I will kind of say something. I'll say something as well about our club charging fans up, because I think it's disgusting. If we do that as well, I'll wholeheartedly put my hand up and say that's disgusting as well from the club I support. You know what I mean? I just do not agree with it at all.
Chris has mentioned as well, looked at Coventry away tickets, adult £22. What?
Oh, yeah, 22 to 64, so that's an adult ticket. So we're charging Coventry 32. Yeah, that's far too much money. Sorry, that's far too much money. So, yeah, I'm willing to say that from us as well. 32 quid is ridiculous. You know, get a cap at 25 quid. Let's start something here.
Do it. Let's do it. Let's do a petition
right now.
Everyone sign it. But yeah, I think that's the end of our podcast, you know, and we've done it in quite good time as well. Oh, sorry, Anthony has put, I used to love that Wigan Athletic would charge away fans £15 if the other team replicated that. Like you say, I think £20 is plenty and football should be affordable for as many as possible. And Chris has obviously mentioned before, yes, that's Sunderland versus Coventry.
Yeah, that's far too much.
Right, we've got another question, sorry. Do you reckon Sheffield and Sunderland will still be top two by Boxing Day? And
I hope so. I certainly hope so. You know, like I would like to see us and Burnley go up just because of like Dan and Amy and Dan are really, really good mates. So I would like us and Burnley to go up, but I'm not bothered who comes up with us. To be honest, like if it's us and whoever, then that'll do me. But I think Sheffield United will be up there. I really do. I think they'll finish the season in the top two. I've always said, from my point of view, I'm happy with top 10, but the way we've started, there's still a hell of a long way to go. I'll take the playoffs. So I'll be amazed if we're in the top two by the end of the season, because there's so many clubs that have got so much like to fall back on. You look like the Leeds, the Burnleys, the Sheffield United who have got the parachute payments, everything like that. We've got nothing. And we've got a very, very young squad. So I would be surprised if we keep it up. But you never know.
You never know. Never know. But yeah, this is the end of the podcast. And what a brilliant show it's been. I mean, we've covered lots, haven't we? We've covered National League North and South, Championship, a few games in League One, and obviously the FA Cup. And Sam, it's been absolutely great having you back on as well. We always love it when you come on with us.
It's been lovely, to come chat football with you on a Thursday. I like popping on a Thursday, and I've come on, and Man United have won for the first time in a year in Europe. Being on with you, so you must
every
be
Thursday now. Every Thursday,
a lucky charm.
Two
two beautiful goals as well. I got to say, and 2 beautiful goals he scored tonight. They were wonderful. So it would be rude not to mention it. But no, I've loved being on show. It's absolutely brilliant. And I just want to say as well, last week I thought you did brilliant with the podcast, because I know you had a really difficult week and there was shenanigans beforehand. And people who watch this don't see behind the scenes how difficult. And particularly when you're hosting, I can guarantee this. You have to. There's no hiding place. You have to be there. And I thought what you did last week, considering what you had, was incredible. So well done.
No, thank you. We've seen it before as well when my internet has just cut out because you had to come on and rescue it because I couldn't get back on.
The guys couldn't end the stream. We could still have been going, yeah.
Oh, funny. But of course, Sam, where can everybody find you? Because of course, everybody wants more Sam in their life.
You can find me online at Sam Absolute FBL, or currently in this very cold house at the minute. You'll notice I have no ceiling, and because I can't use that plug there, I've got my conservatory open, and my toes are like bloody ice cubes, I can tell you. But online, it's at Sam Absolute FBL on Twitter, and on TikTok is that, and EFL, which is where all my EFL content is, doing little bits and pieces on there. So check me out there.
Love that so much, and you're always welcome, Sam. Whenever you like, let us know, and you are always welcome.
I will be back, but of course, in a couple of weeks, I'll be seeing you all face to face for a very exciting evening we have. So looking forward to that.
Cannot wait. Also, for you, Sam.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I need some good luck. My strings are knackered, and I've got a big challenge on Tuesday, so I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
Jen, where can everybody find you?
So it's Jen Hunt _ on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the good stuff. Come and check me out there.
Love that. Ben, where can everyone find you?
I'm never going to get it. No, wrong way. Yeah, there we go. I nearly had it. I nearly had it as well.
I'm trying, Ben.
I get it. She's doing the goat for it now, so I don't even bother trying to outplay her on that. It's Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter if you'd like to keep up with what's going on at the old Stones.
Anne, where can everybody find you?
Top of the championship. I'm at Anthony _Waterson on Twitter. If you would like to follow the only fan dedicated podcast to Sunderland women who are also up for an award, we are at Howie Pod, Howie the Lasses. Good luck to the Lasses who have got Blackburn on Sunday after having a wonderful result in beating Bristol City on Sunday gone, where they were 2-1 down at half time and were 4-2 up after the 52nd minute. So we'll get that one in your next. But yeah, there we go.
Do you know what I've just thought as well? What would be really good? And Sam, should we both get on board with it? I reckon every week Ant should have a rant for our TikTok. A little Ant rant every week about something that's happened.
We need a little intro video or something.
Honest, if someone puts it on TikTok for us, because I literally haven't got a clue what TikTok is. I'm like one of them ones who it's missed me completely.
Just send me a video of your face, Ant, just kicking off, and I'll make something happen. And maybe we need to do a clip you doing an audio of "oh bloody hell" or something as an intro, and then.
And of course, if anybody does want to follow me, I am SharXRFC. That is on TikTok, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram. Her Game 2 stuff is Rochdale HGC. And I know there has been a comment from Footy Fanatic who has asked when the next show is. So I will pop them up now. We are the Absolute Football Podcast. And on the socials, on X, we are Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we are Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram and Threads, we are Absolute Football Podcast _ On Facebook, we are the Absolute Football Podcast. On a Monday night, you can catch our Absolutely Premier League show, and we cover some of the European leagues as well. Absolutely Women's Football is on a Wednesday with Freya and Team Chaos. Absolutely brilliant it is, that show. And of course, you can find us. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. You can find us on a Thursday because we are Absolutely Lower League and we cover the EFL Championship. League One, League Two, the Vanarama National League, and the Vanarama National League North and South. But thank you to each and every person in the chat. It is always a pleasure talking to you. Hope you all have a lovely weekend, and ta-ta for now.